Alright, so now we actually are starting this game, spawning in the bottom left position as our blue Zerg player coming in for Karont3 Esports Club. Currently, they are down 2-3. Can he even things up? It is It is LoLvsxD. Is this actually his username? I don't actually know. This is not a... I don't actually think I've seen Karont3 field this guy ever. This is a very interesting... We're just going to call him LOL. That seems to be a really reasonable way of dealing with it. So, yeah. Let's call him LOL. And spawning in the top right position as the red Zerg player. Just taking out Lucifron. It is from MVP. It is Noxil. So, yeah. LOL. I like this guy's username a lot. Definitely not the most familiar Zerg name. But ZvZ, you guys are worrying about Heart of the Swarms. Even on a map like Whirlwind, you're going to end up with a lot of Mutalisks at some point. Or a lot of Zerglings before anyone can get a lot of Mutalisks. Both players are going to opt to go for the 15 hatch. Versus the regular 15 pool opening, it's not so different. You get an advantage of about a larva or two. Nothing so serious that it makes either one significantly better than the other, of course, because in the event that you do get hit with some sort of crazy 8-pool Baneling all-in, opening this pool first can prove to be quite a lifesaver. So we will have to see just how these players want to take this. Both players are going to get their gas. This is just so standard. Gas, pool. First 100 gas, Zergling speed. Next 50 gas is going to be Baneling Nest. Now the real question about what these guys are doing, since neither of them are cheesing, is how are these guys going to take advantage of the map? It's quite large. They've spawned cross spawns on Whirlwind. And before we reach the stage where Mutalisks become relevant, there's a lot of room for Zergling aggression. Whether or not these guys really keep mining their gas past 100 is going to be quite significant. We could see them try to drone up a little bit, but not quite so likely on this map are we going to see anything like roaches. So a general assumption for this map is that we will almost definitely see both players go for relatively quick layers, or some sort of very heavy speedling based all-in, revolving and building banelings at the opponent's base. But even those are just difficult to execute on the map this big. The only advantage I would say is that since both players are scouting the up and downs and the left and rights of where they've spawned, it makes covering the paths between them a little bit more difficult. But Baneling Nest on the way for Noxia. We should see one on the way very soon for LoLvsxD. He chooses not to get a Baneling Nest. You know, it's one of those things you just can't skip in ZvZ, to be honest. You can't skip it because if you skip it and your opponent doesn't, you're pretty much dead if they go for some kind of really big Zergling all-in, or even just a really big Baneling all-in. The fact that LoLvsxD doesn't have one yet, though, very interesting. Is he going to go for a really fast lair? I'm not so sure. Yeah, there's the Baneling Nest. It's a bit late, but you know, better late than never. Baneling Nest is just something that you really can't skip in ZvZ. So, getting it late doesn't really mean much of anything. It just means if he needed it right now, he wouldn't have it. But neither of these players are really committing too heavily to Zerglings just yet. A lot of drones on both sides. And no one's trying to do anything too fancy. But Spinecrawler going up for both players as well. And the Spinecrawler doesn't even necessarily mean that you want defense while you're aggressive. A Spinecrawler can be as simple as, well, a Spine 2 shots a Baneling. So if you need to be defensive, you can just, you know, use the Spinecrawler to poke away at them. Now, this is where things are getting interesting. LoLvsxD is going to go double evolution chamber. And at the same time, Noxia is going to go for a fast lair. Now, the lair to me makes sense. The Zergling for LoLvsxD will be able to scout this. But the lair, you know, it's so standard to go for Mutalisks. They're so strong in this matchup. It's almost impossible to cover all possible angles against Mutalisks. But it can, you know, Mutas are just the standard now. Almost everyone, literally every single pro ZvZ is Mutalisks. Unless it ends before then. But the fact that LoLvsxD is going for double evolution chamber is going to delay his lair so much. He's still only on He's on 2 gas geysers now, but he hasn't started his lair yet, and this could end up hurting him really badly. He's so far away from starting a Spire, which is almost the only thing that is really significant. He's going to get a 3rd base. LoLvsxD. This guy must have a really, really strange plan up his sleeve. He's making a ton of Zerglings. Possibly his goal here is to buy time by pressuring Noxio so that he can get a 3rd and set up some Spore Crawlers, because in all honesty, this is a ballsy move. He's going to roll out some Banelings. I mean, they're not literally rolling yet, but, you know, with the Spire now on the way for Noxio, and no lair even started for LoLvsxD, he is really counting on doing crippling damage with this push here. He almost needs to just kill Noxio. This is going to be very interesting timing. He's got a lot of Speedlings in production, but now Noxio is going to make Speedlings. And the thing is, Noxio is starting to bank up his gas. He has enough Banelings. He has the Spine Crawler as well. And now the 3rd base has been spotted. And in all honesty, LoLvsxD, now he has to go and defend this. How is he going to attack? As long as Noxio doesn't lose too much of his gas, he's going to be completely fine there. The 3rd base is still pretty safe. 3rd base is going to be taken for Noxio. But that Spire's about to be done. He's got 600 gas bank. That's 6 mutas right there. And there's no mutas available for... Oh, great Baneling hit for Noxio onto LoLvsxD's Zerglings. But, I mean, even with that, like, how is LoLvsxD supposed to put on aggression? Ooh, he's so close with that Baneling. Oh, this is the most dangerous game. He's coming in. Oh, he's in such a good position. I can't handle this. Oh my goodness, he whiffs at the last possible second. This hatchery is likely going to die. No, it's got 30 health. What am I watching? The Zergling's running into the natural expansion. He's going to get a surround on the Queen. Of course, it cannot transfuse itself, so it is going to die a horrible, painful death. The Spine Crawler will clean up the rest of the Lings with the backup, but now there's 8 Mutalisks on the way. What is your follow-up, LoLvsxD? He lost so much, and now the Mutas can just target down the Banelings. He has his own Banelings. Oh goodness, there's so much moving across the field. LoLvsxD just turning everything into Banelings. The problem is Mutalisk's hard counter Banelings. He's coming in here doing lots of damage to these cocoons. Oh goodness, this is so brutal. Now the Zergling's trying to run in. Speedlings getting hit with a couple of detonations. He's trying to run into the main base of Noxio, but the Queen should be able to help against that. The +1 Carapace helps, but now the Mutas, he actually needs to kill these Banelings. If these get in here and kill enough drones, this could work. But oh my god! Oh my goodness gracious! These Banelings is getting annihilated. And there's the GG. Noxio just completely outclassing LoLvsxD. You know what? As a caster, it's part of my job to be unbiased. But LoLvsxD, you know, his username pretty accurately describes what just happened in that game. Yeah, that was... He just got completely smacked. Playing pretty much a Wings of Liberty style doesn't really work in Heart of the Swarm like that. Sorry. But we're going to have to... well, actually, that puts the score 4-2 to MVP. So they're now 1 game away from winning this match, which means it's very likely we'll see an ace player come out for Karont3, which can, of course, be Lucifron. It can be Vipro again. It can also be Vortex again. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could put LoLvsxD out there again. But we will have to see, guys. We'll get to the next game as soon as we can. You guys are watching the Acer TeamStory Cup. I'm your caster today, Nathanias. If you guys like my casting, I really appreciate all comments. You can message me on Twitch TV. You can tweet at me. YouTube.com/DarkNathanias is where all VODs will be located. As well as VODs from previous casts. I've also covered IEM World Championships at CBIT last month. I covered... I guess it's 2 months ago now. I covered the DreamHack Stockholm Open 2013, and I'm covering the Acer TeamStory Cup. So, really appreciate you guys tuning in. And like I said, if you have any comments, concerns, you can post in the Reddit threads, Team Liquid threads, or you can tweet at me, at QuanticNate. All of that information is below. And we're already got the lobby ready for the next game, guys, so don't go anywhere. More StarCraft coming up.